So apologies for the long hiatus between videos. It has just been a really long time and I just didn't want to get out here and tackle this mess, but I have to because this weekend is my deadline to get it done. And, well, so that way I can start working in here again. And let's just, let me show you what plan I've got. The garage is in literal hell right now. It is not clean at all, not suitable for doing projects right now. So I'm working to get that cleaned up, and I want to get it cleaned up as soon as I can, so that way I can start what I'm doing. Right now what I'm doing is I'm taking the wood, all the wood storage that I've got over here, sorry if the ladder's in the way. I'm taking all the wood storage and moving it over there, because that's the place that I'm going to tackle last. And then I'm going to take this tire rack down and deflate the tires. I already got one of them done. But these are all winter tires, and now that I'm not living in Canada anymore, there's no real need for them because it doesn't snow here. So what I'm doing is I'm just deflating them, keeping the rims, but throwing out the tires because these are 8 years old. And then I want to paint the ceiling because I don't have any storage in this overhead unit yet. But once I have storage in there, I won't be able to paint the ceiling, so I want to paint the ceiling before I get that in. And I have to get all the stuff inside of that storage unit by the end of this weekend. Alright, I'm going to try and get this done as quick as I can. Let's get started. Alright, so it took me probably about 2 to 3 days to get this done. I'd like to give thanks to my neighbor Jerome and my parents for helping me clean up, because I could not have done it myself. I'm so glad that they helped, otherwise this would not have been possible. But it is really clean, let me show you that. So it is very clean right now. Like probably the cleanest this shop has ever been. This looks amazing. It is very early in the morning. Well, not too early because it's, you know, the sun's starting to come up. But I got the ceiling prepped for paint. Well, almost. I still got to take down the lights and that piece of tape. But other than that, I've filled all the holes and made sure it's all good. So now I just got to take down these lights and start painting. So if you want a quick little hack for stirring up paint, just take a piece of wire, like this is electrical wire, bend it into some shape, stick it in a drill, and then stick it in the paint. So here is the situation right now. I have the ceiling completely painted. It's looking pretty good. I don't care if I got paint on the tires. I don't care if I missed that spot. There's going to be bins going there, so might as well leave it. But it looks quite good. Now I also have been trying out a paint sprayer, which is a very cheap HVLP gun, a high volume, low pressure gun from Harbor Freight, like the cheapest tool store, and it works great. Except for the fact that the paint's not coming out. It works great on wood finish, it doesn't work great on the paint. considering that it's a paint sprayer, so yeah, kind of disappointed in that, but it was a cheap paint gun from Harbor Freight, so don't know what else to expect. And also, I took down the fan, because as you can see, I added this extra wire, so I could extend the electrical over to that side. Alright, that's what I'm going to do. Here's a quick update. I have the wire ran to that box, which goes currently to right there. It's just hanging down. It's just hanging right there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some outlet, because you can see I've got some plugs built into the overhead storage that I built a few years ago. By that I mean like 1 year ago. And those plug into the lights. So I'm going to cut out a hole in this one, cut out 2 holes for 2 outlets in this one as well. So there we go, I've got the hole marked, but since the garage door track is in the way, I'm not going to go at it with a jigsaw like I did with the last one. This time I'm just going to drill a bunch of multiple holes, and that way it will go through. So I drill in the corner like this. And then I just drill the rest of them. So after about 45 minutes with a chisel and a drill and a hammer, well, I drilled out the holes and I chiseled around it to cut it out. It took way too long and it's not even that clean, so I just realized that there might be a better tool to do this kind of job, and that is a Sawzall, because this is not clean. Alright, so here's the state of the shop. I have everything that I don't want paint getting covered on moved out of the way. I got the miter saw moved out of the way. It's currently folded down compact right out of the way where the paint is. I've got the table saw covered with a tarp because I can't move it. And the garage has turned back into a big mess. But I've started painting. It looks pretty good. I like this white color. I just gotta continue it for the entire ceiling. I've only done probably about 1/8 of the ceiling, and it took me 2 hours. And I really hate painting. Like, even with a roller, because I tried to use a sprayer, but it wouldn't work. So I have to go back to the old rolling technique, and it takes forever. So, yeah. I'll see you back once I'm done painting this stupid ceiling. So a bit of hate that I might be getting is, why don't I remove the lights before painting, because then there's a gap of just pure drywall without being painted. And the reason why is because I'm lazy. I didn't want to have to remove these lights, because these shop lights are harder to remove than the previous light fixtures. So I'm just going to leave them up and... well, it's just because I'm lazy. Another thing of thing of hate that I'm expecting is that you guys will probably criticize me for standing on top of my table saw while I'm painting. And the simple reason is because my table saw weighs 400 pounds, and I can't move it. So it's getting in the way, so I might as well stand on it, and it gets me the perfect height to the ceiling so I can paint. It still looks like a giant pigsty, but the ceiling's painted, which makes me so happy because it was 3 days worth of painting, and I'm so happy it's over. And I picked up these lights. These are some cheap Walmart LED lights, and I know these Walmart tools and stuff are usually garbage because they suck so much. And I did have a couple of them break on me one time, but the reason why I love them so much is because they're super bright. I love them, they're LED, and they're so nice because they're super bright and they've got a really nice color temperature. So I'm going to put 2 more here as well as another fan to make it look symmetrical. So I'm going to put that fan back up and then put 2 more lights here with another fan. Alright? And what a perfect time, because I just picked up this Makita set. I've never used Makita tools before, and this is not sponsored by Makita, but I picked up this set because it was on sale at Home Depot for a pretty cheap price. And what better way to test it than to install the lights? Let's install one of these.
Back,
Here's a quick update. I got the fans put up. Still gotta put the lights up here. And the thing is, that one works. This one don't work. So I gotta figure out the issue with this one. The drill overheated. So, but I'm willing to give Makita another chance because I heard their brand is really good still, and I loved the impact driver, and I liked the quality of them, except for the drill overheating. So I went out and I bought the brushless version instead, because the brushless, I know by experience that the brushless version is better, and because Home Depot gave me a free battery with it. Both fans are up and they're both working. I just don't have them turned on right now because it's too cold. I have the new Makita drill and impact driver, the subcompact version. I'm really looking forward to trying these out. And I know I said I was going to use a Sawzall because last time when I chiseled out that hole, it made a really messy thing and it took too long. But with this hole, I will have to, I'm not going to use the Sawzall because it is 9 o'clock at night and I don't want to wake up the neighbors. So I'm going to drill it out. I have power restored, I got the outlets installed, now I just gotta assemble the lights. So one little issue that I ran into was these shop lights that I have over here are mounted into the joists in the ceiling. The joists are the beams that run this way, I think. No, they run this way. And these ones are mounted to the joists. So I put these in the exact same position, thinking that there'd be a joist there because I thought these would be running this way. There was no joist. So I thought the joists were running this way. But it turns out that they were running this way, so that's the reason why there wasn't one. Luckily, this screw right here, managed to hit one, but with that one, I had to use an anchor. And since this is holding up just a light, it should be fine, but if you're doing something heavier, like a fan or overhead storage, then you'll definitely want to screw into a joist. So it turns out the spot that I marked there was wrong, because it was too far away from that screw over there. So I had to re-drill that hole because I drilled this one in the wrong place, so I had to re-drill this one where there was no joist. I'm just going to drive in a drywall anchor and hopefully it should hold it. Down, one to go. Looks so good having the lights on either side of the garage. So I gotta say, this ceiling turned out awesome. The fans work great. In fact, I'm using them in reverse to actually circulate some heat, which I've got from the heater right now. But I'm using those to circulate the heat and keep this place warm, actually. And these lights are so nice, and they'll be so much nicer for filming in here, because before I just had to rely on the windows. But now it's so much brighter in here. So now I'll have a much better lighting setup for filming. Alright, I'm super happy with this. And I'll see you all on the next one.